Hello, for anyone watching this, probably in the future, you are watching a Gauntlet Hangouts game. What is the Gauntlet? It is a community where cool games are played by the most important component, very cool people who we have here on this call. If you go to gauntlet-rpg.com, you'll find stuff like blogs, entire podcast network, and Gauntlet Hangouts where all these games are arranged. The game we're playing is Masks: A New Generation by Brendan Conway, published by Magpie Games. This is the second of four that we're doing. We're not just playing Masks though. We're also playing the Spiderweb playset, which puts Masks, which is a game about teen superheroes and finding out who they are, puts them down in the street, into a neighborhood, into a community that they protect. So think along the lines of your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man or stuff like Defenders, Heroes for Hire. We're gonna be down here dealing with probably less flashy, but it's still threats. It's still people who want to do harm, and we have these heroes who are going to stop them. But before we introduce our heroes, I guess let's introduce everyone else here in this chat again, because as you notice, if you've been watching the previous one, which hopefully you have, there's some very cool stuff happened there. We have a new we have a new player here on the table. But yeah, I'm gonna get you all to tell us your name, pronouns, and shout out a cool thing on the internet, whether something you're involved with or not. Just something you want to shout out. I'm gonna go from right to left on my screen. Let's start with Tim.
Okay, my character is Are we going with characters or just us right now?
Actually, yeah, we'll go with yourself for now.
Yeah, I'm Tim. I've been with the Gauntlet a couple months. This is my first, I guess, full series I've been playing. But that's about all I have for now right now.
But hope to see you more in more full series in the future, Tim. And up next is Stentor.
Yeah, I'm Stentor Danielson. I'm a fairly newish to the Gauntlet, just a few months, but I'm also a game designer and publisher. Put out a game called Laser Kittens, and so you can follow me on Twitter at Chef Stentor, or our company is at Play Glitter Cats. If you want to hear more about that.
And I think Stentor was on the most recent +1 forward, talking about a alpha for a role-playing game about rocking out. So, yeah. So check that out if you're a fan of the Gauntlet. But if you're new, just go check out the podcast. Check out the stuff Gauntlet does. It's all fab. Anyway, up next, we have Jim.
Hey, I am Jim Crocker. Folks who know me from outside the Gauntlet probably know me because I've been a retailer of hobby games and comics for many, many years. I owned a couple of comic book stores called Modern Myths, which I just recently closed, and I'm now going around from convention to convention selling indie games as a partner to Indie Press Revolution. With a business called Jim Likes Games, because I guess in the internet era, like if your brand is you're supposed to let people know that. So that's the name of my company. You can find me on the web at www.jimlikesgames and on Twitter at Jim Likes Games, both of which were available, which made me really happy. So I've been on the Gauntlet a little over a year. I am super into superhero gaming, so I was really happy to see that Leandro was offering this Masks run. And I do a bunch of GMing on the Gauntlet, including running a bunch of weird hacks of other indie games that don't normally have superheroes that I add superheroes to. So if that kind of thing is your jam, then please go ahead and check those out.
Definitely do, and I definitely recommend checking out videos of Jim's stuff. Like I played in some games that Jim has run, and he's fantastic as GM. And yeah, there's some really cool stuff coming up in the next couple of months in terms of superhero games. And superhero hacks that suddenly have superheroes in them. Last but not least, we have a newcomer to the session. Let's go. Yeah, Alan, please introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Alan. I've been in the Gauntlet since GauntletCon this year, and after it feels like a generation and a half of playing face to face, it's quite nice to be playing online. Much more variety. and really good players, I have to say, so far. So really glad to be here. And to steal a quote, I think the Gauntlet is giving me life.
That's very good to hear, and I hope you find the session give you life as well, because sadly you're only here for this one session, which I hope was enough for people who are watching this, because I played with Alan before and he's fantastic, and so I hope everyone here enjoy his company and be sad that we only have him for this one session. So yeah, before we dive into it, let's run through our safety tools that we have, because of course one of the more important things that the Gauntlet emphasizes, and that honestly most tables should emphasize, is of course creating a safe and comfortable environment for everyone to have fun, because that's the important part. And there are many ways to have fun, but impeding other people is not that. And we wouldn't allow that, but sometimes that's hard to communicate, so that's why we have safety tools. We have lines and veils. Basically, a line is something that's not going to show up on the screen at all. It's a hard stop over that. And veils are something that we can just, we can do it off screen. We can just allude to. It won't show up on screen, but it might be alluded to. For just a reminder, for our players here, there's a tab for that in the character keeper. If you want to add more, just tell me, even in the middle of play, for something that you think about only then, you can add it in and just mention it to me. The other big safety tool we have is the X card. So basically, if we run into a scene where just stuff that makes you uncomfortable just comes up, and it might not be in the lines and veils, but if something comes up, we have the X card, which basically, if you say X or just make an X symbol on screen, or just say that I want to use the X card, we will roll back from that scene. You don't have to say why, and no one gets to ask why. Just so if they say X, then we're going to redact and we're going to roll back. And I might ask specifically what it is you on the X, but I'm not going to say that you can't do that, because the point of X card is that everyone has a tool so to make sure that they continue to feel comfortable. Right. So I'm gonna get you all to introduce your characters, and we're gonna go through that series again, because we have a lot to introduce with Alan's character, and we are gonna go through his backstory and relationships and the influence that they have. And then when I ask you to introduce the character, name one detail from the previous session you want to shout out that your character did or blundered into, I guess, because there was a lot of hectic superheroing, so to speak, in the previous session. Once again, yes, I'll start with Tim. Tell us all about the Rook.
Basically, the Rook is a guy named James Ryder. He was basically, several years ago, the apartment building he lived in was burnt down by an arsonist the Spider sent to set fire to it. Hold on. Sorry, cat. I was more or less saved by another vigilante called the Night Falcon, who has since had to leave the heroing career. But he took me in and trained me for several years. That's right about it. We ended up teaming together because everyone here has lost something from the Spider.
Yes, I should also point out, the Spiderweb, that's not just the name of the playset. That is usually the name of the criminal empire that our young heroes be contending with. In the book, there's also a bunch of other factions as well, but that's usually the main one, the Spiderweb, which is this vast conspiracy of blood and pain built by this figure known as the Spider. And while we're doing kind of character reintroductions, I want to ask some thing from each of you. I want you to. Last session asked for rumors about the Spiderweb, about the spiders themselves. Now I want to know, because we all live in the same neighborhood, I want to know a visible sign of control from the spider over your neighborhood. Like it could be like a bit abstract. It could be something like physical or even a person, but like what's a sign of the spider web's control over the neighborhood of Shoreline, which is where your youngsters live. But yeah, so the rook is our protege, which means that he has a mentor. Let's meet our bull next. Centaur, tell us about Saguaro. You muted, Centaur.
Okay, so Saguaro's real name is Jenna Alvarez, and so she has a power wheelchair that looks kind of mild-mannered most of the time, but was actually augmented with top secret military technology by her father in kind of an overprotective effort to keep his daughter safe. And so now I've run away from home and am using that to power my superhero adventures.
All right, that's fab. And certainly it's a very souped up wheelchair. We saw a bit of that in the previous session. Helping out our next hero, our Janice. Jim, tell us about Hardsuit.
All right, so Hardsuit, excuse me, Hardsuit is Tetsuko Masuda, and she is a hardworking, good student whose aunt is a kind of eccentric, kind of like fix-it inventor type, who it turns out was not the crazy crank that we all kind of have always eccentric that we always thought she was, but that she actually has designed a advanced and very capable combat suit. But because of the way the combat suit works, she can't wear it. It requires a young person whose neural connections have not entirely formed yet. So when you put the helmet on your head, it starts to change the way your brain works and stuff like that. And the older you are, the more difficult that is for you to tune into the suit. So it turns out that I was the ideal candidate to wear the suit. So I'm going around having adventures as Hardsuit. If any of you have ever seen Bubblegum Crisis, think one of the kind of full body armor suits from Bubblegum Crisis with like built-in weapons and jets that let you move around real quick and stuff like that, but full face mask so that you can't see her face at all. So she keeps her identity secret from everyone, including her mother, her aunt, and her aunt's AI assistant are the only ones who know that she is actually Hardsuit running around the neighborhood. And the thing from last game that I really liked was that Stentor's bull has to have a love, and we decided that her love was my civilian alter ego, but that she doesn't know that I'm Hardsuit. So that we're like best of friends, like BFFs in school, and I know that she's Saguaro, but she doesn't know that I'm Hardsuit, which is gonna hopefully make for some fun, very Peter Parker-y sort of shenanigans with trying to avoid her figuring out who I am and stuff like that. And I thought that was one of the more fun things we settled on last game.
Oh, you're gonna love what the first scene that you're gonna have to resolve soon. Firstly, we need to get to our last character for this session, Alan. We're gonna go through kind of the whole shebang, backstory questions and relationships and why who give an influence. But I'll let you tell us about our transformed. Sorry, Alan, you're muted. No, you're still muted.
Yeah, no, I'm still
there you go. Yeah, there you go.
Back. I'm back. So Hardsuit. Sorry, I beg your pardon. So Michael Manners, an ordinary British kid who still resents what he saw as his nanotechnologist single mother's dedication to her work before him as a problem. It was her work in nanotechnology that transformed me. She was disintegrated 2 years ago in an accident that changed me on a take your child to work day. Aegis later told me that the accident was due to an anomaly caused by the Spiderweb. And Aegis are the people outside the team who know anything about me and are helping me understand my new body. They've adopted me and monitor me through a foster carer who's my minder, Mrs. Smith. We actually live in one of the gentrified city blocks in Prospect City that the Spiderweb converted before what I've christened the adventure of the sinister realtor, which was when I think I first got to know you as a superhero team. The reason I wasn't in the first episode of this series is that I was, inverted commas, away visiting family in the UK, which actually means withdrawn to an Aegis boot camp for a thorough debrief after I told Mrs. Smith about the crashed police computer network that I managed to engineer in that attempt to bring down that realtor scheme. First instinct of any transformed is to hide away. I don't, because I'm simply too bloody angry. Someone, it could be anyone, frankly, has to pay for what has happened to me and to my mother. Why do I care about you lot? Well, you're almost, though frankly not quite, as weird as I am. And the Spiderweb took my mother and my normal life away. So, a little bit more about the backstory. When the team first came together, my suggestion is, my question is, we drew attention and ire from plenty during the fight. One important person in particular now hates and fears us. Who is it? So if you're agreeable, I've suggested that Sergeant Graft, the local police detective, doesn't like us because I accidentally crashed the police computer system while I was downloading CCTV of the sinister realtor. The cop on duty that night should not have threatened me. But it did mean that Freak was caught on the police CCTV. And sadly, the crash erased an FBI arrest alert, which meant a murderer was able to kill again before being caught. Relationships, my suggestion, and I throw this to you, who comforted me when I was at my lowest? Well, I was at my lowest when I discovered that murderer had killed again because I'd rather got out of control in the police department. And so my suggestion is that Tatsuko Masuda, Hardsuit, is the person who comforted me.
So really quickly, the question I have there is, was it in my civilian identity or was I in my suit? Were we heroes?
I think it probably has to be in the hard suit because I'm not sure. I mean, we can flesh this out, but I think that I look very different at school.
Oh my God, that's awesome. That's awesome. I love that. I love that we know each other at school, but don't know either of us is. Oh, that's another. Yeah, that's fantastic.
That could well be I don't know how to go with that. We'll see. We'll play to find out.
I think that's fantastic.
And who knew me before I changed? My suggestion is that I arrived at the school shortly before Jenna Alvarez did. And we both stood out. Me because of my funny accent and her because of a chair. So we found ourselves thrown together. Does that work?
Works for me? Yeah. Yep. I think that makes sense.
And so what I've done arbitrarily is to say that Saguaro has influence on me at this point, and I have some influence on Hardsuit. Yeah. Or Freak has influence on Hardsuit. Michael doesn't have any influence on Tatsuka. Yeah.
Oh my God, these we're getting proper Spider-Man shenanigans off the bat.
Do you want look now, Leandro?
Yes, please go to
Okay.
look.
So clearly, as a transformed who can transform, I have two looks. I am basically a coherent, intelligent nanoswarm. My thoughts are what program the nanoswarm, and with Aegis's help, I have managed to train them to look like a British schoolboy. So I still stand out at high school because I still wear my British school uniform and tie. But I've been working really hard on the nanoswarm to give that tie a little riffle now and again, just to make it appear real. But there's something odd about the look. My facial expressions are a bit odd, and everybody knows there's something odd about this boy, but I don't think they know that he's an intelligent nanoswarm. When he transforms, when he relaxes, that transforms into a more natural shape, which is driven by his underlying emotion, which is a metallic, genderless, spiky troll with a huge maw, Mr. Angry. As well as that transmuting flesh, he has the ability to extend fine nanofilaments into mechanical or electronic devices nearby, to make them do what he wants to do. And that's what he was doing when he crashed the computer system. So look is very different depending on where you encounter him.
That all sounds fab to me anyway. I think I'm trying to have a few questions. I think the main one I have for a moment in terms of backstory is who's this murderer that's culpable in letting go?
Yes. His name was Joel Potts. He was subsequently arrested, and he killed 2 people before that computer crash, and another one after it because of the crash. It meant that the local detectives couldn't pick him up in time.
All right, fab. Well, let me just write down Sergeant Graff in a different column somewhere else. And yeah, I think unless everyone's free to jump in with questions as well for Freak. But if no one has any, I think that's all I need for now. Everyone good with Freak?
Does everyone here already know Freak, or is he going to make a debut this session?
I think everyone.
My suggestion that he was involved in your pre-adventure, which was around that real estate, that dodgy real estate deal. And it was in that he messed with the computer, and that's when Aegis pulled him out for a debrief.
Yeah, so you know him, but probably not too well. So because he's been out with Aegis for now. For anyone watching, and I'd like to hope there are people watching this in the future, because that bit of an ego stroke there. Aegis is basically the not shield of this universe, of masks specifically. I'm sure it stands for something, but I can't be bothered to look that up now. It's not important. But yeah, I think that's all I need for now. There's just one more thing out. No, I think that's all for now for Freak. And we're going to see him hopefully in action. Well, no, we will see him in action. Let's not hope for it. It will happen. But one thing to resolve from last session, because last session, there was a lot, like I said, a lot of very hectic superheroing. And our dear Hardsuit was caught in a bit of a dilemma. Do you want to remind the folks what predicament you're in, Hardsuit?
Yeah, we were out patrolling like you do through the slush and the like freezing rain on a super crappy night. Just kind of having a conversation when we came upon a crowd gathered. Doing some kind of a protest outside of a fancy restaurant, and it turned out that somebody wanted that crowd dispersed, and they were willing to escalate to violence to do that. And then our involvement caused them to escalate way beyond just what we were expecting, and they're pulling rocket launchers out of the backs of their cars and stuff like that. And so Hardsuit managed to keep a rocket from blowing up in the crowd, but that meant that it blew up on Hardsuit. So it cracked my mask in half, and I'm kind of having to sort of hold it on with one hand as I fight and stuff like this. But I think when last we left, we had gotten roughed up pretty bad, and we're not quite sure what was going to happen next. It was a very cliffhangery sort of ending that was kind of cool. So
Yeah, it was kind of cool. Specifically, you had a bunch of goons with guns on your face. You're surrounded. You were on the ground, surrounded.
Yep.
You managed to grab the bad guy's important mobile or cell phone for
Yep.
those across the pond, and then but I had to let Saguaro do one more give her one more chance to save Hardsuit. And Saguaro, I think it went off pretty well, right?
Yeah. So I managed to snag Hardsuit with the grappling hook from my chair and yank her out from between those guys that had their guns on her. And she kind of fell into my lap, and we scooted backwards and got out of there.
Now, here's what I want resolved. One of the things that happened in the previous session is your voice changer was broken. But here you are now in front of on the lap of this girl who you're very friendly with in one life. But if you speak right now, I don't know, they probably would know. Oh, so what are you doing? What do you do?
She grabs me and hauls me in, and when she starts talking to me, I'm like kind of like, like I said, like holding the faceplate to. It's like I imagine that it's like got a big crack down the middle of it. I'm kind of holding it together on one hand. I mean, like if she just hauls me up into her lap and is zooming away and not saying anything, I'm not going to say anything either.
Saguaro, what do you say? you got hooks in your lap.
I think this is the point where I probably am trying to talk to you here, because I'm like, holy shit, what was that? Who are those guys? Like, are you okay? Trying to like check out the damage to your suit while also driving us full speed. I assume my chair can probably drive as fast as a car because of the advances on it. So trying to drive down the street, but also like look at your suit and see and asking you if you're okay.
I've got one hand over, like I said, I'm kind of holding the mask together, and I just I give you one of these, like an okay symbol, and I kind of point at my throat, and I like make a noise, and I like make a hand motion like this, like my voice, whatever, my squawk box is broken, so I can't talk right now. That's kind of what I'm like, and we've got we hang out at the Rook's like headquarters, right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so we're like whizzing along, and like the snow and stuff is pelting on us and stuff, and so like my mask is all covered in, like it's all slick and wet and stuff like this and everything. And kind of with another finger, with my hand that's not holding it together, I just take a finger and like on the side of my face, I just put, I write HQ on it.
Yeah, and I think I'll like give you like a comforting pat on the shoulder, and it's like, don't worry, that's where we're headed.
And I give you a thumbs up, and then I give you a thumbs up, and then I kind of do one of these. Like I'm still conscious under there, but I act like I'm kind of like just wiped out from what just happened.
Okay.
I think we can broad strokes the rest of it, because I think we're gonna come back to the hidden base later, but I think so. When you get to hidden base, is it just basically like, do you just immediately drop off the phone as well and just go off into the night, hard suit?
I want Rook to tell us what our cool hidden base looks like.
Go on, Rook.
So basically, I mentioned before in the past session, it's kind of like the little warehouse that they lived in Wayne's World 2. It's kind of got like a little loft area that has a combination of living quarters, but also a few other amenities. And of course, it's got like a little med lab in it, but it also has some other basic elements, probably computers that's not quite, a supercomputer at least yet, and a few basic tools, but other than that, just a place that we can relax or just meet at to I can't think of the word, just either collect our thoughts or just, exchange information.
Sweet. So yeah, we come rolling in, and like I just kind of flop down off of her, onto the floor, breathe hard for a second, and then like stand up, stretch, pop my elbows, kind of still like holding my face mask on, and I kind of like wave like I gotta go, and I just put the phone on Rook's workbench, and I just scroll on a Post-it, we need to trace this, and just like slap a Post-it on it, and I take another one and say, voice box broken, thanks, exclamation point, and I like hold it up to Saguaro.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kind of hold it to Saharo, and then I kind of look at it, and then I kind of cock my head in like a whimsical manner, and then I just like slap the Post-it on my chest, that says voice box broken. And I shrug, I shrug at her like this, and I kind of like hook a thumb over my shoulder like I gotta go.
Saguaro?
Yeah, so I think that while Hardsuit is doing it, like writing the Post-its and stuff, I think I've like grabbed our first aid kit that we've got there and stuff, and tried to help out. And so I want to roll the comfort or support Hardsuit, because she seems obviously distraught in this situation, and is probably ignoring how bad she really got hurt. So I saw that thing explode, and
all right, roll your mundane.
Is so what's my mundane? Is 0. So it's just a straight up roll here.
You have influence on Hardsuit though, so you get a +1.
Oh, do I? Okay. All right, so that makes an 8.
Fab. So on a hit, they hear you. They mark potential, clear condition, or shift labels if they open up to you.
And I don't open up.
No, I didn't expect it.
you present the first aid kit or whatever, and I just wave it away. And like again, I shrug like what can I do? My mask is broken. And it's like and I'm gonna like, unless you physically try to stop me, I'm gonna just go.
No, I won't physically try to stop you.
Okay. So there's that moment where I like pause by the door, and I kind of look back at you, and I wave, and then I'm out the door, and I'm gonna go find Freak.
Ooh. Okay. Um. Okay. So, which one did you pick actually? On hit, the mark. Okay, we'll go with that later.
I don't do anything because I didn't open up.
Oh, okay. I thought.
You only get it if you open up. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, okay. I misread that as
shift labels if you
the
open
label
up.
shifting was if you opened up, but the
hang on.
others were automatic.
Comforter support. On a hit, they hear you. They mark potential clear condition or shift levels if they open up to you. On 10+, you can also add a team to the or clear condition. Nope.
Okay.
Yeah. No,
All
I
right.
don't. I don't get any. I don't get anything because
It applies to the whole list.
I stayed clammed up. Yeah.
That's fab.
Okay.
Okay. So, all right. I guess we're sticking on this Night of Nights. We will get to Rook in a moment because he's also had a rough night. But Freak, while they were all on patrol, kind of, I guess you're probably just coming back from your excursion, I guess. Where are you during this night?
I think probably I'm sneaking out of the apartment where I live with Mrs. Smith, because I will know about the Rook's hideout, and so the logical way for me to tell them I'm back in town would be to go there.
Fab. Okay, so how are you getting around town?
I think probably because I need the practice. I will walk there as the schoolboy.
Well.
And only when I get in sight of the warehouse will I freak out.
Well, okay. So I guess we described this night in Prospect City as kind of crappy snow nights.
Yeah,
and
very odd walking through the streets of Prospect City in my school uniform.
Yes, and this black sedan certainly has noticed you. You certainly
it could almost be like I'm asking for trouble.
It's almost like you're asking for trouble. Now, what kind of responsible superhero is that? I think this, you probably know. I'll give you this because they're not being subtle either. And if neither of you are going to be subtle, you're all going to notice this. You clearly notice this sedan following you ever since you leave the apartment, basically.
Okay. Well, it may be time to turn down an alleyway and hide behind a dumpster.
Okay. I don't think that's a move. But I think you're just gonna hide.
I see what they're gonna do.
Oh, okay. Well, what they're gonna do is they're gonna park in front of the alleyway, and you can hear doors opening and some footsteps coming down your way. What do you do?
Tell me when the footsteps get close to the dumpster.
Well, what are you gonna do once they get close?
I'm gonna be the monster. When you frighten, intimidate, or cow others with your monstrous form, roll plus freak, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, actually,
once I will first look down at the dumpster and say, "Stay there, kid."
Roll your freak then.
Okay. So I'll use the magenta that Sabine left.
Oh dear.
So that's 8 plus 3.
Oh my
11.
God. Oh yeah, that's
what I do, guys.
Fab.
I do very little else. so on 10 plus, choose one. Sorry, on a hit, they are thrown off and make themselves vulnerable to you, or they flee. I'd like them to run very quickly away, get into the car, and drive away at speed.
Oh, well, no. What you choose is the list down there. Those three things there.
No, on a hit, that's what happens.
Oh, okay, yeah. They're thrown off. Okay.
I then choose one of the other things.
Yeah, that's going to happen. So you need to choose one of those three.
I think that I will feel like more of a monster afterwards. So you get to pick a condition for me.
Okay, I think I'm gonna say insecure because I mean, like you said, that is the best. But describe to me this monstrous, horrific sight.
So though the laws of conservation of mass apply, the swarm can get big by getting less dense. So in effect, what happens is that out from behind this comes a 10-foot tall, metallic, spiky troll with claws and a maw the size of a crocodile that simply roars at them. Run away!
And I think when you reach up, you see like these four. I wouldn't call them generic mooks because they're wearing actually quite nice suits. They look like they just came from a Quentin Tarantino party, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we just saw a bunch of great heist movies, and we picked up some cool stuff. You know, we've got like some chains and knives and whatnot. And actually, one of them has a shotgun. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna take this kid." And they see this, and they're like, "Oh, our only training has been watching gangster movies. We're not fit for this." Well, obviously they don't say that, but that's the vibe as they run back to their sedan and drive off. And I assume you just stroll out of the alley looking. Well, what do you do then?
I think because I'm feeling insecure, I think I will stay as Freak.
And I think that's probably what you look like when Hardsuit comes across you then.
Yeah.
And we'll get to that in a minute. But let's go to Rook. Rook, so since they're still in the same night, and you have probably just dispatched the folk in the van. You've let Mr. Heller get away scot-free. I'm going to say Danger Mouse has probably ran off. I think he has a lot of thinking about whether he wants to be a superhero or not. You'll probably find him tweeting a bunch of hashtags in the morning. But I think once you've handcuffed this one mook, you get a message in your communicator, and it's a very terse message. It's just, meet me at our usual spot. And this is separate from your hidden base, but where do you and Night Falcon meet?
He probably might have a penthouse of his own that's kind of separate, where it might not be exactly where he lives, but it's, like I said, he has it for other purposes. So we'll probably meet there.
Fab. Okay, so you'll get there in a jiffy. I say let's cut from, let's turn the page and you're there at the penthouse, and in this night, you've mentioned the Night Falcon is recently disabled, but what does he look like now when you see him kind of sitting in the middle of this penthouse? What's he doing and what does he look like?
He's probably getting close to middle age, if not, but he's, currently he has like a knee brace and has to walk with a cane because that's more or less what keeps him from continuing to be a vigilante. He's probably kind of in a recliner right now with his bad leg propped up on an ottoman. I like to use my grappling hook, come up to the outside through the outside patio deck or whatever you call it, which is my normal way to come in when I'm in costume. But as normal practice, I do so to be seen as little as possible. So I do take measures of doing it surreptitiously.
I think you make it. You do make it kind of the entrance when you hear the tap of the cane and Night Falcon going, "Hectic work out there, James. Very hectic work." You kind of hear a police radio going off in the room when he calls out your name.
Not my best night, but at least the innocent got away. Or
No, it could be cleaner, could be nicer, but you did the important thing, James, which is to get the job done. And that's good. How I wish you could say the same for the rest of your friends. And I think almost on cue, you can hear a police radio report of of explosions in Poseidon's table in the Docklands. Hard suit spotted. Breakup of an activist rally. Hard suit and Saguaro spotted. And then the radio shuts off. And yeah, I think silence fills, except for the tapping of a cane. I'd offer you a drink, but there's still has to be some modicum of law in this room, I guess. When I hear stuff like that, Rook, I wonder about the kinds of people just getting into our line of business. No, business implies we're here to profit. No, our line of work. I want to know from you if you think your friends are on the level, if they're up for what we do.
I'd say they're up for it, if a bit inexperienced, but they do believe they have the right motives.
That's good. But motive only take you one way. Experience makes sure it doesn't take you there. And out of all of these, for lack of a better term, children running around, you are the only one who has that experience, Rook. There's a reason why I gave you this training. I gave you the tools you need to get this work done. You, and he kind of turns to you, and he looks at you with a bit of pride, a bit of sadness. I think it's like he's looking back over the years, and he's like, but I can't do for you what I can't do for them what I did for you. And so I have to rely on you, Rook. If they are willing but still inexperienced, then you have to be their experience. You have to be their foundation. If their bones bleed or if it's too much for them, they have to fall back on someone, and it'll have to be you. You're the only one who's trained for this out of them all. And so it must be you that they look up to. And I'm the Night Falcon is using his influence on you to shift your labels. And the way influence works is that all adults automatically have influence over y'all because they're adults and you're teenagers. No matter how much you moan about it, you still care about what they think. So Rook, Night Falcon is trying to shift your labels. He is bringing your superior up, and he is moving your, I'd say, mundane down. Actually, no, it's not mundane. No, it's danger, I'd say. He's doing exactly the whole embodying, denying bit. Do you accept his influence, or do you reject it?
Let me check here. I'm overlooking the
Sorry, say that again?
Influence. I'm re-looking over the influence stuff here.
Yeah, it's when someone with influence over you tells you who you are or how the world works. Accept what they say or reject their influences. You accept what they say, the GM will adjust your labels accordingly. If you want to keep your labels as they are, you must reject their influence. So the Night Falcon is basically saying you're better than all the other heroes, and and it has to be you who has to raise them up to your level. So your survivor is definitely your superior is definitely going up, but maybe not.
Well,
yep. Do you
I think
accept
I'm
or
going to maybe resist that, but saying that if I,
hold on. Before you do, you have to roll.
I'll have to roll. Okay.
Yeah, it's just 2d6.
What do I?
No stats.
Just 2d6. Okay. That would be an 8.
Fab. All right. So on a hit, you successfully hold to yourself and tune them out. On a 79, you choose one. You clear a condition or mark a potential by immediately acting to prove them wrong. Shift one label up and one label down, your choice. Or cancel their influence and take +1 forward against them. So either one of those three. Do you want me to put them in the chat or?
I've got the sheet here. I think I'm going to take a potential by saying, if I, basically saying, if I were, I could have been better tonight. Because I'm still kind of angry on, about just how sloppy things went for me. I'm like, I still need to improve myself. So maybe we can, as a team, can improve together. So I'm not, so basically, that what I'm doing, I'm resisting the label shift.
Yes.
So,
well, you got a hit, so you. So yeah, this is you kind of not agreeing with what he's saying, and that's fine. Yeah, you got the hit.
Yeah, and I chose clear condition or mark potential, and I'm marking potential.
Fab. So you're saying you're proving them wrong.
And that marks me. That puts me up to 5. So I'm going to take an advancement, which I'm going to choose. Add 2 to the label your mentor embodies or denies, which I'm going to add 2 to danger because my rolls with that have been kind of sucking lately.
Well, the dice. They're their own masters. Fab. Okay, so I think he hears what you say. And he just sighs and he says, well, you and your friends need to learn sooner than you think. These attacks, the Spiderweb, they exert small pressure. That's how they've existed for so long and managed to control so much of the city. But attacking history teachers in the middle of the city with 4 vans, bringing RPGs to restaurants. This is something else. This is warfare within their ranks. And if you feel that you and your team are still not up to it, I'm sorry, James, but you're going to have to be up for it quicker than you think. And I think he's going to give you a file and he says that he's gonna unlock something in the hidden base, and he says he's gonna send you some files, and he's basically saying, because he can't really do much, that he's telling you that you're gonna need to get back to your base. Your team needs you. And go on.
Did he hand a physical file or just send it electronically?
He gives you a USB stick.
Okay.
We're in the 21st century,
All right. You don't know. Okay, so okay. I thank him, and if there's nothing else, I'll head back toward the balcony.
Before you jump, he just says, James, try not to die.
That's all I can do.
Okay. I think well, let's cut back to Saguaro. You're in the hidden base. You're at their base now. Hard Suit has left you. Even though you try to comfort and support them, but so you've left all alone. What are you doing?
So I think for drama's sake, the first thing that I'm going to do is send Tatsuko a message about our history homework that we were supposed to work on, saying that I can't work on it tonight. Really sorry. I got caught up in some other things. And then I think I'm going to try to research a bit more about these protesters, figure out, who they are, who's like organizing this, what their agenda is, to be able to figure out more about why these guys would be trying to blow them up. So I assume we've got good internet access and stuff down here. So I'm just going to start Googling this protest group and see what I can turn up about them.
Yeah, I'll give you the surface level stuff because they're not subtle. For one thing, if they're using Danger Mouse's designs in their protest, the surface level stuff is this protest is organized through social media. I think you find a Facebook page for it, because there were rumors that the Poseidon's table was being used as a front for the activities of the Spiderweb, and that the owner of the restaurant, whose name that someone's dug out is named Max Millions, is clearly a front for someone. And this was kind of like, I think there was an activist, and a specific activist. I'll give them a name soon. Where's my list of names? Let's be on the nose. His name is Anderson Lawless, and he's kind of drummed up this protest basically to like he's one of the no, Dange our mouse. You'll meet him in a couple months. But this guy Anderson Lawless, he's kind of like a fairly prominent activist who's trying to rouse up Shoreline, because we determined in a character creation, the Shoreline's vice is laziness. Basically, they're kind of good with the way things are, and Anderson Lawless is basically, it's like, no, we know this restaurant is corrupt. We're gonna stage a protest. Now we're gonna bring this issue up to light, and I think you can kind of tell that they're very much have a target, don't know what to do with a target at the moment sort of movement. But their heart's in the right place. Like, I don't think you find anything untoward in that protest. You keep digging. You've got one more thing if you want to know / do before Rook gets there.
Yeah, could I roll to assess the situation just to see if I can turn up any deeper non-surface goings on here?
Okay, yeah, go on. Roll, assess situation, roll plus superior.
Okay, so my superior is 1. Okay, so that's an 8.
All right, so
I get
one question.
to ask one. So, what here is in the greatest danger?
When you dig around, I think in the aftermath of Poseidon's table nearly being blown up, I think you see a lot of chatter, a lot of talk, and I think what you'll find is people have taken pictures of the dudes in the sedan, and there's a bunch of internet sleuthing over who they are, because they got a picture of the guy whose cell phone you took. And let me look at my list of good names again. I think what's you find that this guy is a criminal. Obviously, he's fairly well known actually, and people don't know what he's doing out there. And what they dig up is that this guy's name is what's the name of that murderer again? Freak. You're muted. Sorry.
Joel Potts.
Yeah, I think what you find out is that this guy Joel Potts, and I think most people kind of surmise that he's kind of been employed by this group. Because the other thing that other people point out, I think, was search around is that when just Googling, and this could be just ramblings of people, but Spiderweb has been kind of fallow lately. They've not been that active, and this was a major escalation. And now that there's a major escalation with this murderer in a nice suit in a sedan, I think you kind of get the sense that there's kind of like there's a lot of fighting gonna happen. And what here in the greatest danger is not necessarily going to be you. It's going to be people caught in the crossfire. And yeah, before we get to Rook showing up there and talking to you, let's cut back to Hardsuit. I think, do you know exactly where Freak was when you went to look for him? For it?
I don't think so, no. I think this is one of those kind of cool things where I was going to go try and find him, but then it turns out he's on the way here.
Yeah, that works for me.
Yeah.
I think you spot the people piling into the sedan and driving off.
Yeah, racing away, and then I kind of run over there to see what's going on, and I see that it's Freak. And I kind of hold up a hand and wave.
The nice thing about tiny nanites is that though there's this huge maw, I can cause them to vibrate and speak very normally. So out of this bizarre creature comes a very quiet voice that says, "Hardsuit, what's happened to you?"
And I kind of walk over to you, and I'm like I said, I like that thing where I'm kind of still like clear. There's like a crack in the mask that I'm, it's like if I let go of it, it'll just fall open and everybody can see my face. So I'm kind of holding it like this, and I come up to you, and I like kneel down in the little bit of snow that's on the alley, and I kind of take a finger, and I write, can you, just a U, can you fix ? And I kind of point at the mask.
Yeah. So I should be able to extrude a finger into the mask. And I think what you see in the movie is the finger doing this, just working its way up and down the crack in the mask, and gradually knitting it together.
I was wondering if this has to be a roll. If you're unleashing your powers. Actually, no. I think there's more. I want to see the scene. I don't want to add any complications to it. I think it'll be fine.
Well, I'm very interested because, of course, all the nanites are part of me. So when they get in close to the mask, I wonder if I pierce it.
Yeah, sure. Go right ahead. Yeah, please. That's awesome.
All right, go ahead. Roll. Which one is that? Roll. Roll mundane.
So that is 7. Mundane.
Oh,
-1 makes it 6.
And you've got influence over me, so that bumps it back up by 1.
That nudges it to 7. So to ask one question. What are you? How could I get your character to tell me who you are? Because I think my nanites telling me there's something strangely familiar around that shadowed face they got close to.
If you told me who you were, there's no way that after you showed me that trust that I couldn't then reciprocate.
I'm not sure I'm ready to do that yet, but it's good to know. But what did happen to get you into this condition? Because that mask is tough.
And so once it's knit back together,
yeah,
and I say, test. Oh, that is a huge relief. Thank you so much. Thank you. And kind of reach out and and I do that thing where I reach out to put a hand on your shoulder, but it's now it's not like an illusion. It's actually solid, right?
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Okay. So I kind of donk. I kind of say, and I say, that's amazing. How come more people don't know that you can do things like that? I mean, I know this is how you look because this is just how you look, but why isn't it? I wish more people knew that what an artist you were.
I'm not an artist. I'm a freak.
I'm comforting. I'm comforting or supporting.
Angry, unpleasant freak.
And I just sigh. So I'm going to roll plus mundane here and see what happens.
Comfort and support?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
That is a 13 because my mundane is +3 because that's what I'm really good at. So on a hit, you hear me and can mark potential clear condition or ship levels if you open up, which it sounds like you're not.
I'm in the process of opening up.
Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah.
It's really hard. When you look like this, people expect you to behave in certain ways. And to be honest, Hardsuit, it's easier to behave that way than it is to tone it down. But thank you for that. Very few people see through the freak.
With everything you can do, can't you help yourself to look different?
It's really hard work. This is how I feel I should be. This is the real me.
Well, and I dunk. It's as good as new. You saved me from getting into so much trouble. Which is how we know I cleared my hopeless label off of there. I cleared that condition for doing that. I said, but Rook is going to be back any second. We should, and Saharo's inside. I wasn't sure what to do. We should all be there so that we can talk about what happened tonight. Okay.
Just to clarify then, I think that I will, having opened up, will shift labels. I will down freak from 3 to 2. and I will up mundane from -1 to 0. Let's hope you're not sorry for that later.
That's what I do. And we'll come, and I think we'll come walking in the like we'll walk back in like I'm like laughing at some joke you just told or something like that. Like it's clearly that we're getting along like a house on fire as we come walking in to where we left, to where I had left Sahara, and my mask is all fixed.
Yeah, I'm not sure how the freak face does surprise at that, but okay.
Okay. Before it happens, I want to kind of have Saguaro and Rook to have like a bit of a scene to themselves, and then after that, we're gonna take a break. But yeah, so I think. So what is Saguaro doing when you come in, Rook? When Rook comes in, what are you doing, Saguaro?
Unmuted there. All right. I think that having finished that little bit of research into the protesters and kind of identified Joel Potts in those photos, I'm now kind of taking a look at the phone, and I'm guessing he's got like a password lock or something on it, and I'm thinking I'm not the tech person here, so I'm not quite sure how to approach like hacking the phone or doing anything with it, but I've kind of given it a general look over, and that's kind of where I'm at when Rook comes in.
How does Rook come into the hidden base? Does he have like a cool entrance, or does he just walk in?
I'd say it's just like a service elevator, because I'm not trying to be flashy or anything, since it's just, no bad guys to scare or impress. So I just kind of step in off the service elevator, maybe get a soda out of the fridge, and see that Saguaro's got a phone. So what do you have there?
Yeah, so I'll I fill you in on the whole story of what happened with the protest and us getting hit, and that we got away with this cell phone, and then I'll kind of point you to where I've got some of the stuff pulled up showing that the photos that seem to have identified the owner as Joel Potts. And they're like, he was like that murderer that got away that Freak was so upset about, and so he's tangled up in this somehow.
So it looks like you've had as an eventful night as I have.
Yeah,
and I explained the whole situation with Mr. Heller and the 4 cars. So basically, he said something's up involving Mr. Heller. He was targeted.
Do you have any idea why? Like, what has Mr. Heller done that anyone could ever be mad about?
Nothing I know yet. We'll have to look into that.
Okay, yeah.
But I'll pull out like a device or something and kind of plug it into that phone to see if we can unlock it.
Okay.
Okay, so that sounds like kind of unleashing your powers, because your powers is weapons and gadgets.
Yeah.
And you're reshaping the environment.
Yeah.
Overcoming an obstacle. So roll plus freak.
And that is a 4.
Oh.
Yeah.
So. No. What's gonna happen? No. Oh yeah, you mark potential.
Does it call all the other bad guys?
Well, it starts ringing.
Is there a caller ID?
Just says TS.
Oh,
still ringing.
I'll give Ruka like, should we answer it? Kind of look, and
I don't know if I can try to trace the call. Would that be possible, or does that have to pick up?
It goes into voicemail, and it just goes. And when they hear the beep, this again, this voice just comes in. It's loud and angry. It's like, I know you're refusing to answer this phone, Potts, because you're no good. You got my deal canceled. You made you made a ruckus now, and now the spider's after me, Potts. I know you're there. I know. Don't think I'm not tracing where my phone is right now, and we're gonna be there soon unless you pick up. So I better hope you've got a good explanation for why you're not picking up now, Potts, because we're coming there soon. And call cuts off.
So is there a way I could redirect that trace? Or is that just
no.
part of that fail?
Yeah, well, the failure part is
yeah.
that phone's being traced right now. I think that's when Hardsuit and Freak walk in, and we are gonna take a break there. Let y'all think about what's gonna happen next. So it's gonna be a big team meeting. You heard all that happening, Jim? Fab. Okay, so all right, so we're gonna take a 5-minute break. We're gonna be back at 26 past the hour. Cool. All right, so
All right.
And I'm back in the room.
That was completely coincidental. You didn't actually summon me the moment you said you're back in the room. Just want to put that out. All right. Let's look back at these sheets. All right. I just noticed I have a emoji pillow on my background. That looks fairly creepy. I'm gonna remove him. There we go. If I could just hug him. It's been nice company in these cold nights. I wouldn't mind a big plushy D20 like Jim has in that picture of his.
Yeah, that's some D20.
Yeah.
And unless he's a very long way from the camera.
That would be some amazing trickery if he was.
I can't not try that. Yeah, I can do that.
Close enough. Actually, no, I shouldn't hug this. It's making me feel sleepy. And still got a ways to go. Well, no, we're halfway there. Yeah, we'll say. Oh, wait, no. No, the thoughts escaped me. Forgot what I was going to say. Anyone watching this on YouTube, I'm sorry. I don't know if anyone's ever going to watch this on YouTube. I hope people do. Yeah, I hope you all do as well.
I shared it with a friend, and he's looking at probably getting masks or another game, but I sent him the link to it.
Ooh. That'd be really
and another
cool.
game that Jim and I were in the other day.
The
Rocker Boys and Vending Machines.
Yeah, the Lasers and Feelings hack. Was it? Yes. The one that Paul's doing. Yeah, that looked fab. I think I'm doing... Oh, go on.
It was really fun playing alongside a talking coffee machine.
That sounds cool. Yeah, I think I'm playing Lasers and Feelings hacks next week. But this one has angels. Hey, Jim. Before we get back into it, I just gotta ask Jim, where did you get that plush D20 that's on your Google picture?
That's a thing that one of the just one of the gamer companies makes it. I want to say it's Troll and Toad that makes all that does like they do all those plush dice and stuff like that. Or it might be Coplow maybe. But yeah, no, it's hang on a sec here.
We were pointing out, Jim, we've all got them. These big dice.
In perspective. But anyway, I'll ask you for that company later. Let's get back into the action, so to speak. So, Freak and Hardsuit, you walk in just as this call cuts off, laughing at each other's jokes. So Warren and Rook are there.
And we're probably wondering why they're looking so worried. Because I think they ought to be looking worried.
Yes. No, and I think I point to the phone and I'm like, the bad guys can trace this phone and they're coming. We got to do something.
Wait, what? How did I don't? What the?
Yeah, the phone just got a call and they can trace the GPS on it, I guess.
Why did you answer?
We didn't answer.
We
We heard the voicemail.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're using Find My Phone.
So, is it an active trace? Is it still happening?
We assume
I don't
so.
know. I guess, yeah.
So then let's get the phone out of here. Let's bring them somewhere we want them to be and not here.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Where do we have where's a good place for us to meet them?
But hang on, if they used something like Find Your Phone or whatever, they'll now have a snapshot of Google Maps showing where the phone was when they looked. So what are we saying? We need to run somewhere quickly with the phone so they go there and never come here.
That's all I've got.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds good to me.
Unless you can do something to reroute the signal.
No, can't think how to do that.
I think it's too late for that.
Yeah.
Could just wait for them to come.
But then they will know where my base is.
Then we've got to find a new place to meet.
Okay, who's quickest?
And I like you can't see my expression, but like my helmet cocks. Like, are you seriously asking that question? And I just hold out a hand.
You're muted, Alan. Still muted. Alan, you're still muted.
I'll unplug the phone and hand it to Hardsuit.
I probably need to get whatever Rook has given the others to keep us in communication. And then Hardsuit can tell us where she is when she's got a long way away.
Yeah, we've all got cell phones, so it's kind of presumed, I think, that we can stay in touch with each other.
But the difficulty
The special ones that I've spread out with too.
All right, where should I go? Where do you go? Where do you go when you beat up informants? I say to the Rook.
Somewhere on the shorefront might be good.
Okay. I'll tell you where I end up, and I hold the phone up, and I kind of. And it's that thing that we've seen before where I start to run and it's like, the kind of Iron Man style, like, until by the time I hit the street, I'm, I hit the door and I'm out and I'm rocketing down the street and I'm going to go to the shore somewhere.
Okay.
You know where I'm gonna go? I'll tell you where I'm gonna go. So there's a junkyard where they break up old like shipping containers and like boat parts and stuff, like basically like a boat junkyard. That's where I'm gonna go.
All right, fab. I need you to roll just to work to see what your positioning is, because you know, to see how well they're obviously they're not gonna catch up to you, but well, they probably will. Who knows? We'll see how this roll goes. Sounds like you're unleashing your powers.
Yeah, sure. To try and race there as fast as I can. That totally works. Overcome an obstacle, reshape my environment, or extend my senses. Yeah, that totally works. All right. So I'm rolling plus freak, which is my least. That is where my least useful ability. That's a 6 -1. That's going to put me to a 5.
Yay! Okay. More potential.
Am I right? We don't know which direction they're coming from.
It's
so
true.
Our assumption is that she's running away from them.
I think she's running away just so she can put distance away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. To put distance between them and the phone. I just wonder if she's running towards them.
Well, I'm not running away from them. I'm running away from you.
Yeah,
you know, but I don't want the rest of us to get hurt.
To put distance between the pursuers and the phone. Yeah?
Yeah. Okay, so yes. Well, to put the phone, the phone away from the base.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
All right. So let's make it to the junkyard. I think. So what do you do when you get to the junkyard?
What am I going to do when I get to the junkyard? What I'm going to do when I get to the junkyard is I'm just going to rocket in and hide myself in among the maze of stacked rusting containers that is there. So there's like they're like all stacked, they're stacked 2 and 3 high and stuff like that, and in all kinds of different angles. Some are leaning and stuff like that, and they're all in various stages of disrepair and brokenness and stuff. And so, but it makes like a little maze that you can maneuver in through. So that's where I'm just gonna kind of just sort of race in through and just kind of like be in the middle of all those rusty shipping containers, just kind of holding the phone, and then I like ping the thing that tells them where I am.
Yeah, because so they'll get where you are, and I think you hear this hard suit, but a bunch of cars have driven up. You hear a lot of wheels screeching right around the entrance, and well, let's assume you're kind of trapped there. And do you communicate that to the rest of the team? You're muted, Jim.
I think I'm worried that they may be able to tap our signal. So all I'm going to do is like I send out my, I've got my, kind of tap the side of my helmet and activate the full sensor suite with like the echolocation and the deep sonar and all this kind of stuff, and night vision. All of my enhanced senses all start to kick in. And I'm going to try and assess the situation with that, if I could.
Thought you might. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, I'm going to roll superior, which in this case is 1. Bam. And that is a 4. So that's cool. So that's I'm going in the opposite direction from my last roll. I want to go.
Yeah,
but I'm building up the potential, so that's good.
Yeah, at least there's that.
I'm totally cool if you want to just hang on to that and cut away from me to give everybody else.
Yeah, I think what you will hear a thing, and it's basically a very loud man shouting, "You're cut off from your friends, hero. You're better off presenting yourself, or else we're just gonna kill you right here." And I think your team hears that through the communicators as well. What do you guys do? So, what do you folks do?
Will Hardsuit have told us where she was going?
I think she sent the ping, right?
Yeah.
Right. So we know where she is. So we are setting off towards there. Yeah.
I think I could trace her since there's communicators that I have given everybody that's part of my mentor's resources.
Yeah, she's giving you a direct ping. You know exactly where she is. So what are you gonna do?
I would assume we kind of set out not long after she did to be on the way. So we're probably already on the way there.
Yeah.
Okay. What you're going to see is so I think there's one main entrance to the junkyard, and it's like a heap of junk and whatnot. And at the very least, 3 black sedans have barricaded their way into the entrance. All the sedans are all empty, and you can see they're emptying probably, even you see them from the distance. And 2 are staying back. One, they both have shotguns, and the rest, you can't see how many, have walked in. And then I think that's when you hear through the communicators, "Come out, hero." What kind of hero is that, cowering away from a bunch of men with guns?
Do we recognize anyone?
You know what, Rook, you have a move that might be able to help us out.
Is that the be mindful of surroundings or been reading the files?
Been reading the files.
Okay. So, roll superior. 5 + 3 is 8 + 2. That is a 10.
Fantastic.
So-
On a hit, you tell the team one important detail, and I'll tell you if anything seems different from what you read in the files, and then you can ask a follow-up question, and I'll answer honestly. So tell us about this group. Yeah, you get. Oh, go on.
So are there, I guess, a particularly known gang that kind of hires their services out?
Yes, I think the men in the suits clearly are like, they're a free floating gang of, I think they are known in the criminal underground as fairly useful mooks for hire. They really love Quentin Tarantino. That is a thing. They might have names for themselves, but they very much hire themselves out to specific people. And so they're competent, and they are quite armed, but anyone. But they don't just hire themselves out to anyone. I think that's the thing as well. They're quite neutral, and you can hire them, but you need quite a bit of leverage and quite a bit of money, and you kind of have to go through their background check. They have to make sure that whoever's hiring them is legit. So not any one person can hire them. You can ask a follow-up question.
Okay. Is there any kind of vulnerabilities we can kind of exploit right now on this? Or do I need to do an assess the situation for that?
I think the vulnerable thing about these sorts of the fairly useful mooks for hire, which is I will say that out loud so the broadcast can get that. Thanks, Stentor. The main thing you know about them, at least from the criminal underground, is that they're purists. They are not going to deal with magic mumbo jumbo or evil scientist nonsense. They're street life, even though they wear suits. You're not going to be caught off by ridiculous surprises besides the conventional kind, like RPGs or guns. But if you have superpowers, you might be able to take them. But you're not gonna be start wielding up magic spells on you. That's the main thing that you get as well. So
do I have time to assess, or
one of you can assess before the 2 mooks will notice the 3 of you, because the 3 of you are very noticeable. Like, go on.
Can I just say that while the Rook is messing about, I'm bounding towards them.
Oh.
I'm acting in a foolhardy manner without talking to my team. I'll
okay.
show
Well, I
you
guess that
what you
gives me.
look like.
Oh, what? Sorry. What are you saying, Tim?
I said, I guess that gives no time to think. We're going to have to jump in as well.
All right. So, well, yeah. And so, are you going to follow their lead?
Yeah.
Fab. Okay. All right. Freak. Go on.
Well, I just bound across the open space towards where these mooks are and roaring at them. And I fall freak out. So I'd like to be the monster again, please.
Ooh. Yeah, I think you're not so much attacking them, but just trying to intimidate them.
Indeed. Intimidate, frighten, or cow.
Okay. Yeah. Roll freak.
Okay. So that is 7. Freak is now only 2. Thank you, Hardsuit. So that is 9. So on 7 to 9, so on a hit, they are thrown off and make themselves vulnerable to you. On 7 to 9, I choose 2. You hurt someone or break something you shouldn't have. So maybe I did hurt them. And I think I frightened others I had not intended to scare. I think I may have caught the team on a little flat-footed.
Yeah, because honestly, there's no one else around to frighten other than the other mooks and maybe the guy shouting. But I think, yeah. Describe how. But tell us how are you freaking them out, so to speak?
So bound up to them again. The kind of full maw claws, big scale, and swipe at them. And one of them doesn't quite retreat quickly enough and gets hurt. I may well have done him a significant amount of harm.
Yes, and I think okay, how do I think you hear the screams, because how it looks is that there's 2 of them in front of the sedans, the rest have gone in. You've gotten one of them, the other one just freaks out and is about to, this is in a matter of seconds, so is about to shoot you. And the rest of the team, Saguaro, I'll come to you. What do you do?
Okay, so I'm just trying to envision the arrangement of things to figure out what I can do. How close am I to them at this point?
I was thinking you're kind of you're on the street leading towards. So say you're here and the street leading up to there. Freak is here. The 2 mooks are here, and further ahead is the junkyard. So you just have to bound forward. Oh,
okay. So we're still a good ways back from where they are.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think just trying to think what would be coolest to do here.
It's not the most useful, but the coolest.
Yeah. Yeah. So actually, here's what I want to do. So if those mooks are now taking note of us kind of in the back, I think that what I want to do is get up close enough that I can get kind of behind one of their sedans that they drove up in. And kind of get that between me and them.
Okay. Well, what are you doing? What would you do after that? Like, what's your plan?
So then my plan is to actually, I have a powerful electromagnet on my chair that I want to actually essentially grab the car and use it as a weapon against them.
Oh my. Okay. Yeah, that sounds like unleashing your powers. You're
Okay.
unleashing the power of your wheelchair.
Okay.
Go on. Yeah, roll freak.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I could do that whole sequence in one thing, but
I think so. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Oops. Okay. Hang on, let me get rid of my old dice. Roll 2 more, and I've got 2 on freak, so that is a 12.
Oh my god. All right. So on a hit, you do it.
Yeah. So I zoom
Go
up
on.
and I get around the back of one of the cars and grab it with the I'm thinking the electromagnet's on the back of the chair because of the grappling hook and the flamethrowers on the front. So I spin around, grab it with the electromagnet, and just swing it around and clobber one of the mooks.
Yeah. I think it is the one that was about to shoot Freak as well. So you send this one flying, and you're making enough noise, and I think what's gonna happen is the mooks who are marching into the junkyard. Well, they know they notice you, and I think there's gonna be 4. It's gonna charge out. I have the exact number of how many others. 4. It's gonna charge out, and one of them has an RPG. The rest, 2 of them has a machine gun. There's a shotgun. Meanwhile, hard suit. You can hear the voice kind of like, "Ha! Looks like you brought your friends. Well, 2 can play at that game." And you can hear him die. You can hear him press a button, and it's like, "Wait, this can go on all night, hero. I have all the time and none of the patience in the world." And then you hear this noise, this long chain suddenly extending around the junkyard, smashing through the metal and the mess. And it's not near you, but you can hear piles collapsing as this chain smashes through and kind of retracts back. And it's like, "You better stop hiding, hero."
All right, so this is where I kind of start zipping through the maze and casting out my, again, like I said, kind of, we see the thing where it's like, the wireframe renderings of everything around me as my sensors all go out. And I am looking for the source of this thing, whatever it is. And I guess if that means, yeah, like I'm just kind of racing out of there towards where I hear that chain, smashing, just to see what's going on, because I was kind of stuck in the middle of the maze there. So I just want to get a sense of what's happening.
Okay. You can definitely feel the chain is coming from the entrance, and what you hear, there is a lull in between when it goes out, crash, 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 as it goes back. So you can hear this lull as the motion it's coming closer to you. It's trying to cover all of the junkyard, but it's definitely coming from the entrance. I think the rest of you hear this as well. It's coming from behind this wall of this 4-man strong wall of mooks coming out of the junkyard.
So when you say chain, when you say chain, is this like a gigantic ass 3-foot link ship anchor chain, or something that's more like a martial arts weapon that somebody is just kind of whipping out from between them? I'm having trouble with the sense of scale here.
Oh yeah, it's definitely the former. I think when you whip past it, you can see this kind of this kind of sharp point at the end, this scorpion-like point, so to speak.
Sure.
As it passes through, as it smashes through
Great. So then I just kind of like I do that thing where I like emerge from the from the maze, and I do that like anime like sideways skid to a stop thing with like like the dust and the sparks kind of shooting out from under my boots, and and I'm kind of like, you asked before what kind of hero I was. I'm the kind of hero who has friends. And I make the like like the hold the one hand and like this, the kind of martial arts kind of like the thing they do in the kung fu movies, that's like come and get me, and gonna see what they do.
Okay, that sounds like I think the team has now entered battle against a dangerous foe. When you've entered dangerous battle as a team, go on.
I want to leap past them towards the noise.
Hold on. Before that happens,
I get to roll my provoke is what happens before that.
Yeah, well, before that, we need yeah. So basically, some things kick in when you enter battle against a dangerous foe as a team. So first, we add 2 to the team pool. You started with 1 at the start of the session. Now you have 3. Team is important because that's how you help people. That's how you help people when you're in a fight. So you now have 3. Where did I put that? There we go. 3, and then you have to answer a few questions. Who's the leader, for one thing? Who do you think is the leader in this fight?
I suppose because I'm first engaged. I don't think I'm leading though. I think I'm just first engaged.
Yeah. Who's kind of like? Yeah, we need to figure out who's the leader. I would say Hardsuit because everyone's been kind of following her lead. Would folks agree to that?
I'm okay with that.
Okay, yeah.
Fab. All right. So if the leader has influence over every teammate, add another team.
I am 90% certain I do not. I know I don't because I don't have influence over Freak.
No, you do. Oh, wait, no. Oh, they have on you.
No, they have influence over me. Yeah, but I don't.
Look at the wrong column. Yeah. Okay. If everyone has the same purpose in the fight, add another team. Do you all have the same purpose? What's your purpose?
So I think the purpose is keep them from getting the phone, right? Isn't that what we're or is the purpose to keep them from?
I think the purpose is now to beat the living crap out of them, I guess.
Yeah. But my purpose is to take these guys down. Like we've pulled them out of the shadows with the phone. So now.
Yeah.
How's that sound, Rook?
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, and Freak?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll add that team then to the pool. If any team member mistrusts the leader or the team, remove a team. That's a lot of teams there. Any of you mistrust each other? I don't think so. Nah, you're all pretty cohesive.
Up to you guys, but I love my friends, so.
I don't think so. I think you're all on the level. One last thing: if your team is ill prepared or off balance, remove a team.
This literally started with "That's all I've got," with me saying that out loud. So we are not. This is not a well-oiled machine that we are operating here. I don't think. Yeah.
No. We're not well-oiled. I've kicked off without any plan in mind. We're split up.
Oh, but I can mark a condition to keep that team from getting taken out.
You think so?
Yeah. I'm gonna mark angry. I am tired of these people coming after us for no reason. Like, I think my whole little kung fu move there is like that's me being angry.
Yeah.
And the other. So yeah, there we go.
Okay, so you have 4 team in the pool. So how team works, for those not played Mask, there might be a few of you. Anyone working with the team can spend team 1 for 1 to help a teammate. That gives them +1 to their roll. You can also spend team to act selfishly. Hopefully that doesn't. I don't think that's gonna happen. We'll get to it if someone does act selfishly.
Oh, it'll happen.
Oh, you poor sods. So when you do your kung fu thing, Hardsuit, what you see, who you're doing the kung fu thing to, actually. I'm going to describe. Okay.
Yeah, so like I skid to that stop and I see them there, and you said that like the chain is kind of coming out behind. There's like a bunch of them gathered there, and I kind
It's
of
coming out of this like gauntlet device strapped to this man in front of you.
oh okay, so it's like a thing that a dude is wearing. So like I'd point at
Yes.
him and make that gesture, and that is very clearly, that is I am affirming my heroic identity. Which lets me switch my mundane for my mask's value. So my mask's value is danger, and my mundane is 3. So I'm gonna swap those. So I'm like totally I'm in hard suit mode, and then I'm doing that thing where I'm trying to provoke them.
Yeah, and this man who's not wearing a suit, he's wearing a gaudy looking mod shirt and pants. I'm imagining him as Aaron Eckhart, this tall blonde man with the chin of a god and this chain coming out of his gauntlet. I think when you do your thing, the chain comes back to his gauntlet, and he's like, finally a real fight. And he's gonna shoot it at you. I'm gonna actually, before he does that, I'm gonna jump to the rest because
I really want to. Was that not sufficient to trigger the provoke move so that I can roll?
Oh yeah. No, that's fine. Dude.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
He was gonna do it.
I'll do it after we get to other people. I just want to make sure I got that move.
Actually, do that now so that we can kind of color the rest of the fiction.
Yeah, totally cool. Excellent. So when you provoke someone susceptible to your words, say what you're trying to get them to do, and what I want them to do is shoot that chain at me. That's what I want them to do.
Roll superior.
Yeah. So let's see what we got here. My superior, I think, is 1. So we got that.
Oh.
7 and 1 is 8.
Oh, okay.
So on a 7 and 9, for NPCs on a 10+, they rise to the bait and do what you want. On a 7 to 9, they can instead choose 1.
Okay. I think what's gonna happen is they're gonna stumble a bit. They see you. They've done you did the motion, and instead of the finally a real fight, he's just incensed. Once their chain comes in, it's like and he's gonna shoot it at you. You're gonna take a +1 forward against him in your next turn. All right, let's jump to your buddies, your compadres, your amigos. Rook, you're watching. You've seen a freak get their freak on. I shouldn't have said that. Oh God. And Saguaro beat the. For some reason, I don't want to swear, but they beat the living crap out of the other mook, and these 4 other. One of them has a rocket launcher. 2 of them have machine guns. One of them has a shotgun. They're the living heck. Yes. Rook, what do you do?
So the one with the rocket launcher seems the most dangerous, so I'm going to go after that one, and I think I'm going to try to pull one of those tricks where there's something up high that I can get through that I can. Because what I'm wanting to do is the whole fire a grappling line to the guy's ankles and jerk his legs out from under him, hopefully making him drop the rocket launcher.
All right, fab. Yeah, I think you definitely do that. I think there's enough like smaller like 2-story buildings around this place because you're kind of near the docks. There's not skyscrapers near you. So yes, think you're not exactly directly engaging. Well, you kind of are, but you're kind of reshaping the environment so you can trip these folks.
Though I'm technically kind of trying to take something from him. But I don't know.
Yeah. I think this is. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, yeah. Directly engage a threat. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's see. You roll danger. You are directly engaging against someone.
Yes. So That's
Roll plus
danger.
Yeah.
Oh, really? 3
Ooh.
plus 2, that is a 5. And I'm going to
Ooh.
advance heck through here.
So there are 2 team members. I'm wondering, can 2 team members spend teams to give you +2? But that'll take out half your team in one go.
I think Rook has to live with that one.
Okay. All right. The team has spoken.
I'm deleting these dice.
Put him in dice jail. So what's gonna happen? You've marked potential. Is when I think your grappling hook does grab the man in a rocket launcher, but when you pull him, the mooks are all jostled, but the rocket does fly off, and it's gonna smash. It's gonna explode in the street, not exactly in front of Saguaro and Freak, but not exactly on them, but near enough them that they're gonna be the ones taking the powerful blow.
I'd very much like to be the target.
Okay, you're gonna. Ooh, okay. All right. I wonder if you have to. Do you want to roll to defend?
Well, I don't know. I have a move called "I am not my body" when you take a powerful physical blow. So I suppose do defend to start with, and then depending on that, see what happens.
I think the defense is so Saguaro doesn't get hit.
Fine. Okay. So reroll.
Roll plus savior.
That is 5, and defend is savior, which is 0. So sorry, Saguaro.
Yeah, mark potential, Freak.
Indeed, it's about time.
Yeah.
So I think I probably take it, and she gets a bit of the back blast as well. I don't know.
Yeah, no, both of you are gonna take a powerful blow because yeah. So you didn't. Yeah. Oh my God. Start with Saguaro. So take a powerful blow.
Okay.
What you're gonna do is you're gonna roll plus conditions mark, and
I've got none at the minute.
Yeah. Oh, that's fine. Saguaro, you have a few conditions. Right?
So I've got a 7.
Okay. On a 7 to 9, you're going to choose 1. You lash out verbally, provoke a teammate to a foolhardy action, or take advantage of your influence to inflict a condition. You give ground, your opposition gets an opportunity, or you struggle past the pain, mark 2 conditions.
I will lash out verbally. Rook, what the freak was that?
So are you provoking them to a foolhardy action, or inflict a condition if you have? Oh, you don't have influence on that.
I don't have influence. So I'm trying to provoke him into just doing something.
Saguaro, roll, take a powerful blow.
Yeah, I got a 4 on that.
That's good.
Yeah.
You want to miss when you take you do not want to get 10 plus on a So
I get my potential, but then
say how you weathered the blow.
So I think that I just have like a bulletproof screen kind of thing that it can sense the vibration of that exploding. So even without me even realizing it, the shield kind of pops up and shields me from the worst of the blast.
Fab. Okay. So while that's happening, so the explosion happened. Freak has been caught onto it. Freaking Saguaro. Rook, you're standing there on the building. Okay, so you've got a chance, Saguaro. You weathered the blow with your shield. Unfortunately, the mooks have been taken aback. They have been kind of jostled by Rook's grappling hook. But they're still there. And what's gonna happen is the 3 who don't have the rocket launcher, while the other one is reloading, they're gonna start firing on you. The shield is protecting you for now, but you have their attention.
I only know one way to solve a problem. That's to charge at it.
Hold on. Well, let's go. Hold on. Pop-up shield. That's so cool.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
So, yeah, I think this is a situation where I don't feel like I really have time to orchestrate anything cool like the whole car trick from before. So I think I just have to charge the nearest guy with my flamethrowers going. So I think that's directly engage
All right.
a threat, and
That's danger.
Okay, so that's a danger, but I've got the afraid condition.
Oh,
That's a minus to danger, right?
Yeah.
And it's a minus how many?
Oh no! Afraid? Yeah, 2.
Yeah.
It's -2.
-2. Okay, so I'm at a net -1 on this. So did really good before. Let's see what we got here. I got the exact same roll, but this time I don't want to roll low. So yeah. So I just charged that nearest guy with my flamethrowers going, but I'm gonna fail real bad.
Oh gosh. Oh yeah. You have a move where it says you can cause significant collateral damage even on a miss. You want to do that?
Yeah, I think that's
okay. So I'm gonna be okay for one thing. Mark potential, and what's gonna happen is you charge at them. You don't hit any of them though. They jump out of your way, but you crash through the wall, and you crash. You get to keep driving forward, and you crash through the junk and all that. And they are those 4. Okay, what's gonna happen is you see this freak. Their backs are now turned towards Saguaro, and one of them has reloaded the rocket launch, the RPG. What do you do?
Just hit him.
Okay, that sounds like directly engaging a threat.
Yes. So that one and that one. Whoops. So that gets me to 5 with my 2 danger.
Okay.
They turn and spray me with shotgun pellets.
Yeah, I think the 2 of them turn around, the ones with the machine guns, and they're just gonna hit. You're gonna have to take a powerful blow again. Oh my god. And mark a potential. And
so that is a striking 11.
Oh dear. All right. I will direct you to the neighborhood tab where the updated version of this move is. So
I see. Sorry.
On a 10+, choose 1. You must remove yourself from this situation. Pass out. You're seriously injured. Take -1 ongoing until you receive medical attention, or 2 options. In 79.
Wow.
So the big difference is the one in the middle. In normal masks, you lose control of your powers, but here you get injured.
Okay, so I will take seriously injured, take -1 ongoing. I'm not quite certain what medical attention will look like, and I will take 2 options from the 7 to 9 list. You
don't have to choose one. You only have to choose one. As in, you took from the 3. There, you only have to choose 1. So you took seriously injured. That's fine.
Oh, sorry. So no.
Yeah.
I rolled 11.
No, on the 10+, choose 1.
Oh, I beg your pardon. Sorry. Then I will choose. Right. I will take 2 options from the 7 to 9 list. I will struggle past the pain and mark 2 conditions. And I will lash out verbally at Rook again.
Oh, poor Rook.
Come on, do something.
Okay. But before we get to hard suits, one-on-one fight, Rook, what do you do, buddy?
Okay, I'm just going to just charge in now, I guess. I'm going to pop out like a collapsible staff and charge the two with the machine guns that are currently firing, I believe.
Fab. Okay.
Let's see if I get better dice this time.
Yeah.
2 plus 5, that's 7 plus 2 is 9. So.
All right. On a 7 to 9, directly engage a threat. All right. Pick one. Resist or avoid their blows. Take something from them. Create an opportunity for allies, or impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
So if I resist or avoid their blows, do they still get hit or knocked out or
blows.
whatever?
Yeah, you will absolutely trade blows. You will hit them.
No, that's regardless. But if I choose the resist or avoid their blows,
yeah, you won't
they still get hurt. They still get hurt.
Yes.
Okay, I'll do that one then.
Fab. So, okay. Describe to me how this looks. You coming in with a staff, beating the absolute crap out of these four.
Yeah, just twirling, knocking their guns away when they try to bring them to bear toward me, jabbing them in the face, stomping their foot with it, sweeping leg sweeps, everything. Just it's like a whirlwind almost.
Yeah, and the fun thing is, you got them. And hold on, let me look up some stuff because there's again more stuff with this Spiderweb playset involving gangs. Look up a Mask Unbound playset, the Unbound supplement out now on Drive to RPG. And yeah, I need to look up exactly. Okay, so you do it. You knock them all out, and because you're just a badass, you're answering Freak's call, and I think. Yeah, you beat the absolute crap out of them, and they're all laid out, and those are all the mooks because I'm not meant to say this because it's GM stuff, but you so to speak, you've ticked the last box, so to speak. But hard suit, while all this fracas or fracas, or I don't know, depends. While all this all this brouhaha is happening, this Aaron Eckhart Light has you have a +1 against him, but he has shot his chain coming at you. What do you do?
I just do like a ballet twirl on one toe to sidestep as it just zings past and like jams into something behind me, whatever, like smashing through a container. And then when he retracts it and it starts to whip past, I just reach out and grab the hook so that he hauls me in, and I've just got a fist out, and I'm just going to wail on him as he retracts the chain back in.
Tell me what that sounds like. You play this game.
Oh, that's directly engaging a threat. I'm going right at him. Absolutely.
Roll danger.
Sure. So I am still afraid from what happened before. So I've got -2, but I swapped my labels. So my danger is now 3. So I've got a total of +1 that I'm rolling on this. So let's see what we got. And that's
nice.
That is an 8 + 1 is 9. Someone want to spend a team to help me out to bump it to a 10?
Yeah. Who's Zaguaro, you're right there.
Okay, am I close enough?
Yeah, I think you're close enough. What I'm thinking, this fight is happening here, and you kind of zoomed your way past there, and all this. You've smashed through a few walls as well.
Okay, so I think that I, because I'm kind of in the pile of junk, and I think I turn on. I'm envisioning I have like almost like a snowblower kind of thing on my chair, and I spin up a bunch of the junk, and it flies at this guy, and creates a distraction for him while Hardsuit is engaging with him.
Awesome. So I got a 10+ and directly engaged threat, Which
And that's
means
-1 team. Let me note that down. You have 3 teams.
yep. On a hit, trade blows on a 10+ pick 2.
What are you gonna do?
I'm going to create an opportunity for my allies.
All right. What's
and
how are you doing that?
and impress the opposition. He was all talking smack to me, and like I want him to reassess his smart mouth assessment of me. So I'll take the hit. I'm totally cool. But I'm creating an opportunity. But also, this creates an opportunity for the rest of the team. And I impress, surprise, or frighten him.
Okay, I think so. What's gonna happen is so.
Oh wait, hang on. Sorry. Mechanical thing. Didn't I have a +1 forward against him because of the
Yes, you did.
intimidate?
Yeah, you did.
So we don't need to spend the team. Bingo.
Yeah. So
Okay.
what's
That's right.
What's
Also-
the fiction? Yes.
Your danger's 3, so you didn't really need that.
No, but he
But
has afraid.
I'm afraid. So it's -2 to the roll.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
in a condition mark from before, literally like from last session that I haven't cleared yet. So
Yeah, because this is still the same night.
that's totally
took
cool.
an
That's
RP.
awesome. Yeah, and I'm going right at him. And if he's like I'm slamming into him as presumably he's wailing on me or I'm getting shot or whatever. But like I'm taking the hit to give my friends the opportunity, but also just to stick it to him, to try and I want to impress him.
Okay, so what's gonna happen is you totally you punch his magnificent jaw again. If none of you have seen Aaron Eckhart, he's Harvey Dent in Dark Knight Rises. He's got a magnificent jaw. You sock him.
It's a super punchable face.
It is
So, yeah.
incredibly punchable. Yeah. So you hit him and it's loud and he gets knocked back. But what you don't notice is the chain is retracted and it's actually it's gone through a piece of rebar or no, a steel beam, and when it's coming back, he kind of looks at you and he gives you a smirk and is like, "You got gumption, kid." But he ducks, and I think that's gonna smack against you.
Sure.
Yeah. No, I don't think it's a powerful. I think I'm just gonna give you another condition. I mean, it's a piece of rebar, but you got him good. It's a 10+. So I'll give you a condition. Actually, no. Tell me how are you feeling right now?
Oh, what do I've got? I've got angry. Oh, I would definitely be guilty that I lost it. That I well, because I swapped out my mask and my normal thing. So I think guilty is totally the thing that makes sense here.
Fab. All right. So, but you've got his attention anyway.
As it and I think it's one of those things where it beans me and knocks me off my feet. If I weren't wearing full body armor with impact zones and shock absorbers and all this kind of stuff, it would have taken my head off. But it just kind of rocks me down onto my knees. But he's now standing there, set up for the rest of the crew.
Fab. So I think because you've got his attention. He definitely does. He's very much looking at you, sneering. He thinks he's got you, but his back is turned to the group. He's got yeah, you've got Moxie, kid. Look at you running around in power armor like you own the place. Don't you think you're okay? I think. All right. Well, I think Freak. Let's start with you. This is going to be a 3-on-1 offensive. I think you've suffered quite a bit tonight, so I'll let you have the first hit in.
I'm just angry and a bit guilty that I was a bit rude to Rook.
Aw, especially as Rook has come in and
and finished the job. I feel a little bit small now. So I know which direction Saguaro went in. And so natural instinct will be to just move as quickly as possible that direction. Is the guy with the chain the only person in the middle, or are there more mooks?
No, the mooks have all been kind of taken out.
Okay.
Again,
Then
fictionally, yes.
I stomp on his head.
Oh, okay, all right. Roll danger. Directly engaging.
Okay. It's worked very well so far, obviously.
Um,
Hang on, there we go.
you got an opportunity to hit him anyway.
That gets to 6. Now I wasn't quite certain when Hardsuit created an opportunity. Is there a mechanical effect of that opportunity?
Basically, the opportunity is you didn't have to like make a roll to get to him. Like, he has his back turned to you. You had this chance. Someone can spend a team to bump that up to a 7.
Oh, I'll totally spend.
Right.
Sorry, go ahead. Go
go
ahead,
on,
Rook. Yeah, no, it's better if Rook does it because of the thing you guys got going on.
I'll basically spin a team and I'll toss a bola toward the guy, wrap his ankles up to cause him to trip, which would kind of make it have Freak an easier time of stomping.
Okay, so I trade blows, presumably.
Mm-hmm. I pick one,
and I pick one. I think I will create an opportunity for my allies. So I'm hoping another one can steam in before he can react. But do I just take another condition?
Oh, okay. Yeah, because he's gonna. I think what's gonna happen is. All right, describe to me what you're doing. You're gonna stomp on his head.
I stomp on his head, and I make contact, and distract him, but he gets to trade a blow with me. I don't know if that's take a powerful blow.
What's gonna happen is, I'll describe you fictionally, and then we'll decide if it's take a powerful blow. What's gonna happen is you're close. You push this very punchable face to the ground, but his arms are still free. What's gonna happen is you're gonna get hit by that chain directly, and I think this is gonna be another powerful blow you're gonna take because you're gonna be sent flying to the sky.
Okay, so I roll for a powerful blow. I would normally add my conditions, but because I have that move that says I don't need to, I won't. And I get 6.
Yes, mark potential.
And oops, daisy. There we go.
Oh, yeah. What's gonna happen is you're gonna be out of the way, but you stand strong. You're gonna weather this. The opportunity is his chain is high up. Saguaro, what do you do?
So I think I charge this guy too.
Yeah. Hold on. Actually, let me check a box here. Yeah, I think this is gonna be it. He's kind of he's lashed out. His chain is out. He's vulnerable.
Yeah,
just gonna do it.
I think I'm just gonna directly engage a threat. And so I want to slightly retcon one of my chair's powers just to be more in theme. I don't think it changes anything that's actually happened. So I've been talking about flamethrowers, but I think I should actually have like a thing that fires little like cactus needles.
Ooh.
I think that would be like, that would do the same thing. It wouldn't change anything that's happened in the story, but it would actually fit the Saguaro theme.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm supposed to be like this cactus themed superhero. And cactuses don't really have flames. So I'm going to charge him with my needle shooters.
All right.
So that is still at the net -1 because of my condition.
Oh dear. We'll see.
So
let's hope.
Yeah, maybe I can get some help if this doesn't work. Okay, that's a 6.
But
do we have any team left for somebody to help me?
You have plenty of team left.
Yeah,
anyone. Go on.
Yeah. I'll pull on the chain.
Yeah, as you're flying up in the air. Fab. Okay. You know what? Yeah.
Yep.
You're gonna knock him out after this. I don't know if you.
Yeah.
Well, choose one either way.
Yeah.
Unless you want to impress him,
I
frighten them, or take something from them, like their dignity.
don't
know.
actually. I kind of like the idea of impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition. Like if any of the other mooks are still like around and like hiding, and they're gonna go back to the Spiderweb and be like, those teen heroes are serious business. You shouldn't mess with them.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
I think that's kind of what I wanted. Like there's one of the mooks that's like hiding under a pile of garbage or something.
Yeah.
Like out of the fight, but still present, and is going to see this happen and be like, all right, we need to let them know that we're up against something a little heavier than we expected.
Yeah, it's exactly what's gonna happen. When your needles hit this guy in the face, he's just gonna he exhales, and the chain instead of coming back against him, it's gonna just fall down with Freak along with it. You hear the mooks running into the sedans, going like, we shouldn't have bet with the Scorpion. We should have gone back to the Spider," as they drive off. And yeah. Good job, team. You've got this guy. And so, any words?
I want to make sure that Hardsuit is fine.
Yeah, I'm like brushing myself off, and like I, like I reach into a little like compartment, at my hip. There's like a thing where it goes like it like zips out, and I'm holding the phone. And I say, well, they didn't get the phone. Did we ever figure out who it belonged to?
Yeah.
Oh, go on.
Do we? When the call came in, was initials TS? Yeah.
And I tap it, and I look through the address book for TS. Oh no, I don't need to do that. I can just tap it and say, call the last number.
What? Wait, what? I heard a phone ring. I heard a phone ring from one of y'all. Okay.
I knew it.
Yeah, my phone just buzzed.
Okay. No. What's gonna happen? What you call it? You hear a buzzing, and it's coming from the guy there. You knocked out, and he kind of briefly like, "That's my phone, you pricks."
Yeah. Is he the Scorpion? The whole chain with a point on the end.
Yeah. You can. You can. Yeah. No. You beat the Scorpion.
Oh.
Wow. Okay.
And
I think there are some significant exchanges of glances, as if to say,
yes, yeah.
I beat the Scorpion.
So I like toss the phone onto him. And
pricks.
What do we do? We can't just we've got to turn him into someone. We can't just like throw him in the bay. I mean,
Yeah.
So one question I got, when the other mooks ran away, said something about should have went with the Spider. So does that mean the Scorpion? I'm asking this out of character, by the way. The Scorpion was trying to act against the Spider?
I'll just tell you right now because you've beaten him up. You can probably surmise that this whole he was planning some stuff, and I'll tell you now, there was some stuff that I had planned that kind of play to find out. But yes, I think you definitely surmise that this was, and the Night Falcon mentioned you outright at the start that there's been war happening. There's a war within the Spiderweb, and people are going to caught in the crossfire. Saguaro got this as well, that there's going to be a war. We're going to be caught in the crossfire, and well, I think you just took out.
I didn't even have time to check the USB drive, but
but
we can do that a little bit later.
What should we do? Should we should we give him to Night Falcon?
I think maybe we could just leave him for the cops after we've secured him. Or possibly, is he superpowered or is he just a human with like a really unique weapon?
Yeah, he's just a human with a chain gauntlet thingy.
What would the police do with him? I mean, what's the crime?
Well, a rocket launcher did just explode in the street, so
I mean, if
they're
nothing else,
likely going to be here anyway.
if nothing else, he's going to have to answer a whole lot of questions. You know what? And I and like my voice kind of rises like I'm getting a good idea. And I point at Freak and I say, maybe we can call Graft. Maybe if we turn him over to Graft, that will help convince Graft that we're okay.
That's a very good idea. Leandro, this may be pushing my technopathy too far, but given that the nanites have seen everything that's gone on, is there any way to download that into the phone?
Because I like you, Alan, and you're here for this session. I'm gonna begin. We're nearing the end anyway of the session. Yeah, I think I don't want to have to throw any random complications that rolls might occur. I will just let you do what you want to do.
So we could download a freak eye view of everything that's happened tonight into that phone, and then leave him hanging upside down from a lamppost outside the police station with the phone tied around his neck.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I just see a very nice half-page panel.
Yeah, I think yeah, definitely that's how that page ends, as you have wrapped up this Scorpion. All right, while we wrap this up, I kind of want like quick shots of where you are as this night ends. And this night finally ends.
I'd like a moment alone with Hardsuit, if possible.
Okay.
Also, could I make one suggestion about the leaving the Scorpion tied up by the lamppost? Can we just zip tie his wrist together, then use his own chain to tie it to the lamppost, so it's that much more funnier?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's so much fun. Okay. All right. So, Freak, you want a short scene with Hardsuit?
Yeah. So when the party's broken up and no one else is there, I see a panel where Hardsuit is walking away, and maybe it's the light from that we've hung the Scorpion from, but the shadow of Freak is behind her, so you can see the shadow of Freak, and then the next panel, we see the Freak shape becomes that of a schoolboy, and the bubble says, "Hello, my name's Michael."
And I stop, and I take one look at you, and I've got all of these sensors and stuff built into my suit and everything. And so almost certainly, and like you are inside it, so you know that by doing this, you're telling me who you are. And I stop, and I sigh, and I like kind of drop my head, and then I look right and I look left, and I do the, and it comes off. And I pull my suit off, and I do this thing that, my hair is like tied up in the little bun in the helmet, but I do that, and that causes it to, fall down and everything. And I'm like sweaty, and, and like I got a little like a little beauty streak of grease under one eye or something like that. And I say, I know, Freak, I'm Tatsuko. I guess it's nice to meet you. And I extend a hand. And we shake hands. And so when I reveal my identity to someone who didn't know it before, I mark potential. And does this to clear guilty, I can make a sacrifice to absolve my guilt? Does this count as a sacrifice, giving up my identity to someone?
Well,
Yeah.
I was rather hoping that it would clear my guilty as well.
I think that's totally awesome. Us telling each other who we are, that's super cool. And I say, and like I nod, we shake hands, and I say, you can't tell anyone else. And then I put my mask back on.
Nor can you.
You know, I kind of do like one of these, like to my heart. And I nod, and we'll fade out from there. I think that's super cool. That was great.
Yeah. I do kind of want like a quick shot, like what's where Sagaro and Rook are heading off. That's a good way, the cool way to fade. Yeah, but I just want to see where they are. That's okay.
I think immediately after the scene where Hardsuit revealed her identity to Freak, you see Saguaro just checking her email in her phone, and she looks at that email that she sent to Tetsuko about the history homework earlier, and it hasn't been answered yet, and she looks kind of sad that she hasn't gotten a reply yet. And just that's all for my final bit.
Rook, what do we last see of you of this?
I guess as the evening's over and everyone has kind of went their own ways for the night, I go back to the my base and pop in the flash drive to see what it was that the Rook had given me. Basically.
What the Night Falcon's got given you?
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah. It's basically everything he knows about the Spiderweb. It means it's added more to your files, but the most recent thing, the one that he's bookmarked for you to notice, is that basically the Spiderweb has gone silent in the past couple months, and he surmises that there was a power struggle, and there might be a new spider in town. Hence why the sharks have come to feed. That's a different animal metaphor. Apologies. But that's why the scorpion has kind of come out to try and do his coup. But yeah, I think that's a big, and this was when you came in, you probably didn't notice this, but there's a card left for you, Rook. And when you open up the card, I assume you're gonna open up the card, but it's there anyway. Yeah. Inside the card, just written in nice calligraphy, it just says, "Thanks for cleaning up my mess." And on the bottom of the card is the mark of a spider. And I think we'll see where we are next time, next week, when we come back. Sadly, without Alan or without Freak, well, we might see him again. I've mentioned while we run through these play sets, we're all going to be in Prospect City. So next month, you will see probably Freak fighting against alien bird fascists. But before that, let's go through the end of session questions. Where is that? Okay. At the end of every session, choose one. Grow closer to the team, grow into your own image of yourself, or grow away from the team. So let's start with Freak. You're muted there.
Sorry, Leandro. Ask me again. I was away.
Sorry. At the end of every session, you choose one. Grow closer to the team, grow into your own image of yourself, or grow away from the team.
I think I grow towards the team.
Fab. Explain who made you feel welcome.
Hardsuit.
Definitely. And so, one of two things. Oh, wait. You give influence to the character. That's you. Do you have influence over? Oh, you give influence. So basically, Hardsuit has influence over you now.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
No,
yeah,
I do have influence on Hardsuit. Yeah, I do.
yeah, but no, give influence means they have influence over you now.
Oh, fine. Yeah.
Yeah. And clear a condition or mark potential.
I think I will mark potential.
Fab. That'll help you when the bird fascists roll into the city. I'm excited to see how that goes. Next up, Hardsuit.
Grow into your own image of yourself. That is what I am doing.
Explain how you see yourself and why.
I see myself as the people who know who I am like I think this is the first time I see myself as deserving of this, as this is something that I deserve because of what happened to my dad, and that I'm doing this and that I can do this and keep my mom safe. And I think that this is and in particular, you know, taking down the scorpion, is this is worth it to do it. That the risks of it are totally worth the rewards that we get. Because my mom is always telling me about how terrible it is that there's people out there opposing the spider and they're going to get everybody hurt. And this just proves her wrong. And so I'm really happy about that. And I'm going to shift one label up and another down. And I think I'm going to shift up superior. And I'm going to shift savior down.
Ooh, interesting. Can't wait to meet your mom. Which that's probably going to happen. I mean, no, that will happen. It almost has to happen.
For what it's worth, for my advancement, I unlocked my moment of truth.
Oh yes. For people who are watching this, people know, moment of truth is basically it's a moment where you take control of the narrative, basically, and each playbook has their own way, and it affirms who they are, and yeah, you're gonna save the damn day, but then there's consequences for that. They're very
It's when Spider-Man stops the train in Spider-Man 2. Like that's your moment of truth. Like mask off, you know, costume on, do something cool, save the day. So yeah.
Oh man, I just saw the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse yesterday, and I could just talk about that for days. But no, we have to go.
Oh, it's open, which means I got to go see it this weekend.
Oh, this weekend. Yeah, I think it opened earlier in Europe here, but yeah, let's not get distracted. Up next, The Rook. Did you?
I'm going to think I more grew into my own image of myself.
Stood up to Night
I'm probably going. Yeah, and I'm probably going to drop my superior one and raise my freak up one. Ooh. Because, like I said, I've been while I'm still kind of going toward myself there, I've still kind of been more identifying with the team as, quote, freaks, I guess you call it. But
that's fab. Last but not least, Saguaro.
Okay. So I think that I'm growing away from the team. And in particular from Hardsuit, because we started this session with me saving her from the guys at the restaurant, and then she ran off, and then she came back with her mask fixed, and I feel a little rejected there.
That's the bull for you. Always wearing their emotions on their sleeve.
Yeah.
Take influence over you away from another character.
Yeah. So I think Hardsuit loses influence on me.
Oh no. Does that mean your relationships change? Well, think about that. Well, we'll see. Probably
Yeah.
not. But
Well, because it's the thing that Hardsuit has lost influence on me, but that doesn't necessarily change how I feel about Tetsuko because I don't know that they're the same person. So I feel like it still makes sense. Tetsuko is still my love, even though things are a little more strained with Hardsuit right now. And we'll see what happens if I find out that they're the same person.
I am so looking forward to like my needing to feel in my civilian identity that I need to make it up to you. Like whenever I treat you badly as Hardsuit, I have to be nice to you as Tetsuko, which will just ratchet that whole thing up. That's going to be so awesome.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think we're definitely going to see a lot of that next session. But yeah, we'll talk about that off broadcast anyway. It's a bit of quick debrief. We're nearly at the top of the hour, and then I'll leave it there. But yeah, that was. Thanks very much for playing, folks. Thanks very much, Alan. Again, hope we'll see Freak again next month in January. Again, fighting the bird fascists.
Yeah,
that should be fun. Well.
Looking forward to it.
Fab. All right, let's stop the broadcast. Goodbye, YouTube.